Here we go.
Yo, holy moly, let's figure out what we're doing here. What do we got? Hey, everybody.
Let's go.
What's up? What's up on a Wednesday? It's Wednesday, right?
It is Wednesday.
Yeah,
November
Wednesday
18th,
evening.
baby. That's right.
Always Offended podcast, episode 8. Super excited to be with you this evening. Chuck, what's a good word, my man?
The good word is November 18th. We're a week away from Thanksgiving. And you know what? To all the folks that say, oh, you don't have to get together, social distance. You don't get together for Thanksgiving. Fuck you. We're going to get together. We're going to eat. We're going to drink. We're going to have a good damn time. Fuck you. Okay?
Man, we're gonna get into that plus much more in this very special episode of the Always Offended podcast. And I'm going to say this formally here at Philadelphia 19.
That's
welcome,
right.
welcome. And we haven't talked all week, so I'm very curious.
Let's go
except for show prep, but I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on everything that's going on there in Tennessee and around the world, and of course right here in the wonderful, great U.S. of A.
Absolutely. Great.
And I'm going to go over the rundown here, what we're going to do for you. But Chuck, since we haven't really spoken all that much,
what's up?
What the hell is going on there in Tennessee?
So, Tennessee is Tennessee, man. So what's been going on lately, obviously, in today's world, we got to talk COVID. So COVID, the numbers going up. Everybody's getting tested. Everybody and their grandma is getting tested. So the numbers is going through the roof. So right now we're in a widespread panic. I know that's a artist. That's a group. Is it like a rock brand? Widespread. Yes, you know that. That's right.
I do not. That's why we're friends. You teach me a lot of this crap.
Oh, right? I teach you about widespread panic. I don't. Okay. That's fair. But anyway, we're in a widespread panic. And the COVID numbers going up. So people are getting tested. Everybody's getting tested apparently.
Hey Chuck, you know what's interesting? I saw this online the other day, and apparently what they're selling now are bubbles. So humans can buy bubbles to live in if you are in fear of COVID. And we have a video of someone actually.
How much those bubbles cost?
What's that?
How much does those bubbles cost?
We'll talk about that after the video.
Okay, let's see this shit.
Here's this. Have fun with it. It's your whole. Oops. Wrong button. Sorry, I teased you right there. I teased you. Here we go on the COVID button. Hey, does your horse have COVID? I don't know. You're riding a horse and you don't know if it has COVID? Maybe you have COVID. I live in a bubble because I'm afraid of COVID. Jeez. So that was real. That really happened. John Travolta reprised his role as the boy in the bubble. And somehow there was
a young John Travolta. There you go.
Somehow there was some Kung Pao. And I didn't do that. What are you talking about? It had nothing to do with me. I don't know what you're saying. Kung Pao Enter the Fist somehow mixed its way in. But bubbles are available for everyone who's afraid of COVID. So you're welcome. Maybe we'll start selling them right here on the Always Offended podcast, your own personal bubble, and we can customize them to meet your specific needs.
Absolutely.
To prevent the COVID, and then you can get on with your life, and the rest of us can as well. So until we sell, how many COVID bubbles do we need to sell for everyone else to get on with their lives? It's not even about the vaccine. The vaccine is evil because the Trump administration in Operation Warp Speed got everyone going, right? They got all the pharmaceutical companies going, right?
hey, can we put our Always Offended podcast tag on all the vaccines, please, so everybody can watch? That would be the way to do it.
I think that's hell. I didn't even do that. Vaccine, COVID vaccine, Pfizer.
Let's do the COVID vaccine.
Wait, who did it? Pfizer,
Moderna. I don't
Moderna.
know what it is. Yeah, Moderna. Yeah,
Pfizer and Moderna, boy in the bubble. So, ladies and gentlemen, get ready, get set, because we're going to be offering human bubbles for everyone to buy.
Was it you mentioned your own vaccine there, Sully? Maybe let's put your name on that. Let's go. Let's make some money, baby. Let's go.
The Sully, you just got sullied, man.
Oh, hey, you're injecting people. There we go.
Yeah,
baby.
That's how I have 2 kids. That's how you have 2 kids.
Hey, something happened, right?
It did. It certainly did. Okay, everybody, enough of the nonsense. We're going to get into more nonsense here in just a moment.
baby.
But
Let's
let me
go.
lay this out for you, what we're going to cover in today's episode. And we're certainly going to have a lot of fun with it. So we did the Bubble Boy thing.
Bubble boy, bubble boy.
Just because it's so insane. Masks, are they actually working? I'm not so sure about that. The CDC numbers, which pneumonia, the flu, no one's really talked about that. The flu numbers, are they down or is that a big myth? What about pneumonia? Do more people die of pneumonia that's not caused by COVID, or is it just strictly COVID just kicking everyone's ass? We're going to discuss that. What about the almost not zero deaths? Some kids have succumbed to COVID.
Unfortunately,
but, if you compare it to pneumonia, which we're going to, there's a stat there from the CDC, which we have, and then the crude COVID death rate. And I know people don't like that, Chuck, because essentially what you do is you divide. Okay, you divide. It's a little bit of math here. The deaths, the COVID deaths, and I'm going to preface this too. Anyone that's died of COVID, we feel for you, and we have compassion for you.
Yes.
We just have, we're just skeptical as to the numbers, and we've talked about it in previous episodes how we know that people really aren't investigating this, but that's kind of the deal there. So we have that. You divide that by 325 million. You have a number which we're going to go over. Hey, you remember 4 years ago? 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, what happened? Russia collusion. We needed to investigate.
Russia.
I demand an investigation. Penguin-looking mother effer. Who's that? Chuck Schumer. I demand an investigation. I demand an investigation. Well, you got like 47 of them, dickhead. And it amounted to what, Chuck? What did the Dems get out of all their bullshit fabricated? And by the way, who paid for the Russian dossier? It was Hillary Clinton. Obama was briefed on it by John Brennan, who's talking to the Biden administration about being back in. John Brennan knew about the whole thing, said nothing, because you know why? He's a fucking communist. Pardon my language, but that's the way it is. July 28, 2016, he briefed Obama about the dossier and what Hillary was doing. What did Obama do as the president, Chuck? What did he do?
Did he use his Obama phone or no?
He did, not to call anyone of importance.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, sometimes you use your Obama phone, like the connection might be a little shady, so you might want to do that. But what was the question? I forgot the damn question.
What did we talk about? Obama phones? No, you
Obama phones. Obama phones. They're free. They were free.
Oh, the fabrication. Oh, the investigations. That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
We need to investigate. And Nancy Pelosi, we have to investigate. We have video on that. And Mr. Schumer that we're going to show you in just a few moments. They're crazy, insane people, but communists typically are. It's all about the power. It's all about by any means necessary. And we have more video to share with you, and some proof on some of the alleged voter fraud that's going on here in America as it pertains to the presidential race and senatorial races, perhaps, maybe even the House. Hey, by the way, Dems out there, I thought there was going to be a blue wave and the Republicans were going to get crushed. Oh my God, they almost won the House back, and we're going to keep the Senate if you don't cheat again in Georgia. There's no way in hell you'd ever be able to flip that state without cheating. Chuck, what do you think about that?
Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, Matt. Come on. You can flip it.
I don't necessarily disagree. We talked about it on a previous podcast. I got to give them a lot of credit. But the question is, did the Trump administration know about this? Did they have undercover agents, 1,500 to 2,000 of them, ready to go? Did they know? Okay, I don't have any proof of this. Check out Tommy G on Instagram and Parler, and Create the Mayhem, on Parler. That's where I'm getting that information. Apparently he has an inside source. close to the administration, that all this is going to go back the way it's supposed to go, because Trump actually won. Sidney Powell saying that Trump would have gotten 80,000 votes. We have a quote from her coming up as well. There's a PBS article talking about the Dominion voting system, Smartmatic, and PBS was investigating this, and that's the Public Broadcasting Network. Are you guys familiar with Big Bird?
We love Big Bird.
Big Bird.
My guy's Oscar the Grouch. That's my guy.
I saw some bullshit commercial, whatever, Oscar the Grouch telling you to put on your mask. Put on your mask. Yeah. I'm Oscar the Grouch. You gotta wear a mask. It's not great if you're not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Is he a puppet or a Muppet?
Oh, dude, for real?
I'm asking a legitimate question.
They both got hands up their ass, right? I mean, so what? Who cares?
It's a legit question. Is he a puppet or is he a Muppet or is he like Alf? What was that? They from Melmac? I'm Alf.
Oh, wow, Alf.
Go back to Melmac.
I don't know if it's a puppet, Muppet, whatever. He ain't human. I don't fucking know.
How do you know that?
Oh shit! Yeah,
that's a bunch of lizard people out there, right?
That's a good damn question. Never mind.
Okay, all right. So PBS was on board with Dominion and questioning this. That's a left-leaning government-funded organization that was questioning the Dominion voting system in 2019. By the way, Amy Klobuchar, Elizabeth Warren, and other Democrats wrote letters about Dominion, and we have evidence of that going back to 2019. And obviously nothing was done about it because they had concerns about voter fraud. Democrats' concerns about voter fraud? Oh my goodness. Russ Lamslin. He's a Republican out of Texas, and he's run for office, I think, a couple of times, and he's a co-founder of Allied Operations Group, which investigates these voting systems. So whether it's Dominion, Smartmatic, Hammer and Scorecard operations there implemented by the government. General McInerney, retired General McInerney, we have video from him. Rudy Giuliani. How do our votes go all the way to Spain and into other countries in Europe? And then what happens there? Rudy's going to explain that. By the way, I need to explain something about Rudy Giuliani, because there's a lot of libtards out there that think, oh, well, he's partisan hack. He's all about Trump. Okay, just from a freaking common sense standpoint, that MFer took down the 5 families in New York. The 5 families in New York.
The mob.
So Rudy, last I checked, is Italian.
Yes, Giuliani, you think so?
So do you think he would have been corruptible? Like, hey, Rudy, shut the hell up. Lay off. Whatever. No, that man has integrity. And he took down some of the most powerful people in the freaking country. At what cost? I mean, how much they could have? I mean, hell, dude. They took out CIA, mob, who took out Kennedy. You don't think they could have taken him out at some point? Maybe he didn't have that fear, but he still went ahead with the investigation, and he kicked their ass. And we're talking about integrity here. And people question Rudy's integrity. I just want to put that out there.
Let them know.
Sidney Powell, we got information from her as well, which is very nice. And Chuck, we talked a little bit about this. The Michigan Wayne County canvassers. The canvassers. People looking at the votes and certifying, because Wayne County certified. That's the biggest county in Michigan, including Detroit. They certified the election there, but that wasn't going to happen until some nefarious figures said they may or may not do harm to some of the other canvassers. There's that, plus the barbershop. I'm very curious about, see what the hell's going on there, Chuck. Libtard of the week. Wow, we got repeat offenders.
Oh, man, already?
Repeat offenders.
Already.
All right, so we went through that. We got through the Bubble Boy. That stuff's going to be on sale next week, hopefully.
Bubble boy.
Honestly, is that not a good idea?
Yeah.
Would people do you think people would buy bubbles? They would.
They really would.
I don't even know why I'm giving up this idea here, because I know some of you slapdicks out there would probably buy a fucking bubble. Pardon
really
my language.
Would.
I know family
the good
members
people
told me
out there will buy it. Yes.
Let me ask you this. We'll get back to the Bubble Boy thing, but I've been told that my use of profanity on here is not the best look. So I've tried to cut back a little bit. What are your thoughts on it?
So Matt,
yes.
Who told you about your use of profanity?
My mom.
Oh, okay. What about your friends? I'm sure your mom is a very lovely woman, and I don't want to disrespect. I don't want to disrespect.
My dad even said that too.
He's a very lovely guy too, or strong guy. So I don't want to call him lovely. I'm trying to, But what about your friends? What do they think about your use of your language?
I haven't heard anything about that.
Okay, that's cool. Just saying.
But it's your mom.
And your dad. That's right.
You got to respect that a little bit.
They're old school, and nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being old school.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. We, there's lots of language growing up that was used, so everyone's awfully familiar with it.
So, Matt, hey, I will tell you this: at some point in one of our episodes, we got to make it a no foul language episode. See how
otherwise you get fined.
Yeah, let's see how long we can last. Yeah, we could try to do that. Might be difficult, but hey,
we can make like a drinking game out of it or something.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I don't know how it would work. If anyone has any suggestions on that, please. Hey, big shout outs right now to Jason Rombotis, Chuck Faithful. Thank you guys for joining. We haven't even looked at there's like all these different streams going on. We have some of them routed into the platform that we're using. The other ones I can't necessarily see all the way. So I don't know what the hell. Is going on.
We'll figure it out.
Oh, there's some. Wait, look at this. Okay, there's some other people I wanted to give a shout out to. So
shout them out.
Ricky Clancy, Mike Stone. I mentioned Chuck Faithful, Mike for Z, Ryan Eldred. I mentioned Jason Rombotis. There's a lot of people that contribute to us being able to put together this particular program, if you will, for you guys. So we wanted to say thank you. If you have any suggestions on what we should do next, please, Puppet or Muppet. You're laughing at that. Chuck,
let's go. Did that. Let's go.
Mel Mac, we got Al. Laggers, Chuck got us okay. About effing time. Yeah. So are we laggers?
Hey, we can't do nothing about it, man. This it is what it is. Hey, and everybody, shout out to Matt Sully. He does a lot of work on the behind the scenes that you don't know about, man. So if you think this guy don't work hard, screw you. Shout out to Matt Sully. Let's go.
Well, Chuck, my man, I appreciate that. Certainly appreciate that very much. And I appreciate you as well.
Let's go.
Very much so.
Let's talk about it.
Were we talking about Muppets or COVID?
Oh, puppets.
Or puppets.
Which one?
Puppets or COVID.
Okay. Can a puppet or Muppet get COVID?
Yeah. If you talk to a lib, I'm sure they could probably tell you.
Oh well, yeah, you can get it at Walmart, and it gets attached to the puppet or the Muppet, and your kid brings it home. And then your kid gets it, and then they give it to grandma.
Right? Did you see them making an argument like that?
I can see that happening. You're absolutely correct.
Oh, fact check. Where's the fact check?
You're absolutely correct. You're right.
Chuck busting balls. Charles Faithful, busting balls, nice. I like it.
Gotta bust some balls, baby. Let's do it.
Keep it going. Okay, so I can't get off the stupid Muppet thing. You remember Muppet
It's taking over. It's taking over, baby.
You remember Muppet Babies?
Oh, hell yeah. I remember Muppet Baby. I remember the theme song and everything. Absolutely.
How'd that theme song go? You remember? Or are you just saying you remember?
Babies is make a dream come true. Some shit like that. Hold on,
man. That's pretty impressive, by the way.
Yeah, man.
That's pretty damn good.
I got little kids, so we kind of watch the old school stuff. Yeah, so hold on.
So if anyone out there is a Muppet Baby fan, just give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up.
Come on, y'all watch it too. Come on now, Gonzo and all that shit. Yeah, let's go.
So let's get into the nonsense of the left here. And a lot of you people,
here we go,
are going to say, we're the ones that are the radicals, the extremists. You guys are extreme. It's not good to be extreme over here or extreme over here. You know what? Extremism, a lot of times, is one's own opinion. However, facts being fact, Antifa, and we're not really talking about them much this evening, but Chuck, in your opinion, is Antifa an extremist, radical terrorist organization? Thoughts?
Wow. Radical terrorist organization.
Yeah.
That is a good word right there.
I like strung. I strung a few of them together.
Yeah, that's
I didn't stutter in the middle either, so it kind of worked, right? Right? I could be a leftist now.
Right. I can't confirm or deny. You know what I'm saying? Are they? Probably.
Okay. Do they riot, loot, and steal?
Technically.
No, factually.
Okay, factually. Okay.
Yeah. Do they riot, loot, and steal?
Sure.
Ryan Eldred, we can see you, buddy.
Sure. So, are they crazy? Fuck yeah, they're out of control, man. They're out of control.
So we can say they're shitbags.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now that we have that squared away. Masks. There's been a bunch of COVID outbreaks, super spreaders. It's probably from all the Dems celebrating Joe Biden's fake victory. What do you think, Chuck? Is that the deal?
Well, there's been a lot of partying going on, rather if you like it or not. And when you party, Halloween was a couple weeks ago, Thanksgiving coming up, people getting bored, they want to party. Whatever it is, if election came, and so there's a lot of Democratic Party going on. Okay, if you like it or not, whatever, they were partying.
But the biggest thing is they've been telling us to wear masks.
Absolutely.
For months. For months. The hell is that from?
Absolutely.
For months.
Well,
Goodfellas. That's what it's from.
Hey, Sully, even tonight, there's people partying tonight, and you might not even be aware of it. The NBA's draft is tonight. And I watched a little bit of it, and there's people, obviously it's virtual, but there's a lot of party going on in certain areas, and no one's masked. No one's masked. So I mean, whatever. If I just got drafted and know I'm gonna make about 80 million in the next couple of years, I ain't fucking wearing a mask either. I don't give a damn.
What are you wearing a mask for anyway?
Well, exactly. Now, the reason why I wear a mask all day, we've been through this. I work in healthcare. The requirement,
and you have to.
And I have to. So here's a quick story. I ain't trying to get out in the weeds and all that, but doctor of mine the other day, he's talking about his practice, his clinic down in downtown Nashville. Okay. So downtown Nashville, Davidson County has a mask mandate. Nashville, Davidson County just happened to also to be the state capital of the great state of Tennessee. So the whole state does not under a mask mandate, but a lot of the metro areas are. So like Nashville, like Shelby County and Memphis, we are. So if Matt Sully, the great Matt Sully, lives outside of Nashville, Davidson County.
That's right. Great.
Yeah. And needed to get something looked at, or I got to go see an orthopedic somewhere. Okay. I'm going to go down to Nashville. I'm going to go to this certain particular place. You walk in the building, you walk in the clinic, and they say, "Hey, Mr. Sully, hey, dude, hey, you have to have a mask on. Here's a mask. Let's put the mask on. Let's go about it." Well, the doctor was saying he's so sick of this right now because people who come in that's not from this county is like, "Well, my damn county, I don't have to wear a mask." He said, "Okay, sir, that's cool. I get it, but you're not in your county right now. So in order to come in here, let's just put the damn mask on. Let's get this over with." I ain't wearing no damn mask. So what happened the other day on Monday afternoon, a guy walked in, didn't want to have a mask on. The lady tried to politely tell him, "Here's a mask, just put it on. Doctor, come see you. Let's just get this over with." He said, "No, fuck you, lady. I ain't putting on a mask." The guy that was in the waiting area who had a mask on said, "Hey, motherfucker, you gonna put a damn mask on?" He looked at him. These two, no shit, started fist fighting in the middle of an orthopedic clinic because
Wait,
one
you saw that?
said, "Yeah, no." He's telling me the story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said one who's not from this county said, "Well, my county, we ain't got to wear masks." And the lady was like, "Sir, that's cool. Whatever county you're from, that's cool. But you're in Davidson County. Here's a mask. You just got to put it on. Sit in the waiting room. Doctor's gonna see you in a couple minutes." He said, "Well, fuck you. I ain't put on a mask, dude." And waiting in the waiting room who had a mask on said, "You gonna put on a fucking mask?" They started tussling. They started fist fighting. And I'm like, "Come on, man. Just put the damn mask on and just do your business. And then as soon as you leave, take the damn mask on." I don't give a shit.
Well, let's dive in. Let's dive into that.
Okay, that's fair.
Quickly.
Yeah.
What's the argument to wearing a mask?
Hey, listen. I'm not trying to argue for wearing a mask.
No, I know, but I'm just asking. I'm not saying you argue for it. I'm just asking what would be the argument for it.
I don't know what the argument is. I really don't give a damn. I just throw that shit on just to shut people up and just so I can go about my business. So I don't know what the argument is, Matt.
So the argument, in my opinion, is this. You're killing people. If you do not wear a mask, you're going to make people die if you do not wear a mask. If you do not wear a mask, people will die. Okay,
right.
That's fine. What evidence and/or science do you have to support that? In addition, do you believe that plexiglass prevents COVID? The answer is yeah. Close the droplets,
like the bulletproof plexiglass.
But if you're in a room, it's been proven that plexiglass doesn't do shit because COVID gets into the particles into the air, right? Like everything else does. Like if you fucking sneeze and you got a cold, you got the flu, and you walk into that stuff, there's a potential likelihood. And I'm not a fucking doctor, and I didn't stay at the Holiday Inn last night, so don't hold me to that. But if you're around it enough, are you probably going to get it? Yeah. Most people are going to be asymptomatic. Okay.
Yep.
The whole mask thing. Okay. There's 250 million fucking people that have quote unquote succumbed to COVID. The question is, did they actually die from COVID? Before we get to that, I want to put this up because I was curious to see if people were actually washing their masks. And I found this article from July of this year, and we have it right here. Is this it right here? Okay. If you're wearing a mask to go outside to do your own multiple masks, or do your own multiple masks, or just one. If just one, how often do you clean it? Like, it's kind of the most ridiculous question I've ever heard. So it's saying that people here, 64.1% are washing, rotating out their masks. One mask washed between wears, 8.8% are only doing that. One washed sometimes, 21.8%. Other did not explain. So with that said, 64.1% wash, rotate. Okay. So you got a good 35% that aren't doing anything. And even at 64.1%, how is that believable? Are you going to take the online poll there and you're going to say that, yeah, you wear your mask? What if the government's watching? You know what I mean?
I don't know if I would take the poll. Listen,
what if the government's watching? They see that you're not wearing your mask.
I don't give a shit what the government think. I really don't give a damn. Okay, I'm a black man in America. You think I give a fuck what the government think? Okay, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Now, I just do it just so I can get on my life. So I'm in my car, I'm driving somewhere, I ain't got my damn mask on. Okay. But when I get out, I'm like, let me throw my mask on just so I can get from point A to point B back to C, which is back to my car. Because if you're going to argue with me, I might slap the shit out of you. And I don't want to go to jail. So let me just get on with my damn life. Okay. Let me just, I got my mask on. I want to buy this product, boop de whoop, and let me get on with my life. I'm not trying to argue with all this. So I just throw my mask on. Whatever. I don't care.
So the great Mark Levin was talking about this, constitutional lawyer, analyst, broadcaster, and he brought up a really good point. He's like, they've been telling us to wear masks for how long? Since March. And then Fauci's like, no, don't wear a mask.
Right.
Then he's like, wear a mask. Don't wear a mask.
Right.
So the majority of people have been wearing masks, and I put mine on if people ask me to.
Right.
Or I have to go in to a place and like you're forced to do it. Right. Otherwise, I'm a non-conformist type. Oh, you're killing people. Show me the fucking data. Send us the data, which you do not have. You know why? Because I know you're not doing your own fucking research. And what I mean by that, are you calling up institutions, government agencies, private organizations, and getting the real data? The answer is, based on my research, is that you're not doing a goddamn fucking thing. And I'm not talking about all of you, but I'm talking about the fucking MFers. They're like, you need to put on your mask. Put on your mask. Otherwise, people are going to die. Look at my veins. Chuck, can you replicate the veins right there? Let me see. Can
yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me try it.
You get fired up. Let's see the veins. No?
Yes. You know. Kind of hard to see my veins. A little dark right here.
And yeah, I'd probably say we need a little more light there to see it.
Come on. Oh, shit. I can't see it.
So here's the deal. I'm going to go back to this. And we've talked about it the last couple episodes. Maybe some of you saw it. Maybe some of you did not. Okay. I called up the Riverside County here in Southern California. Riverside County Department of Vital Statistics. And this is the place where you can get birth certificates, access to them, and or death certificates. At the time, and it's about a month ago, I requested to see all 1,254 death certificates for people that succumbed to COVID. And what it was put on their death certificate as part of what the state recorded to us and published what we were able to see. 1,254 people.
Yeah, some bullshit.
Okay. And, Chuck, how many other people called up and asked? How many other media outlets called up and asked to find out this information, to study, to see the death certificates, to see if, in fact, these people actually died from COVID, or was it from something else? Was there an underlying health condition? Was it actually from this? Was it from that? Did they have diabetes? This, and that? Did they get hit by a bus?
Hey, I've heard some people in your county got shot and killed, but when they got shot, they COVID tested them and they came out positive, so they died of COVID. Not because of that bullet wound. They died of COVID. So I'm just saying, some bullshit.
And we've been hearing stories about that all over the country. And what I'm talking about here, and Chuck, you have firsthand information too, based on what you do.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about here is that this is firsthand. I picked up the phone and I called someone, and it wasn't from CNN or MSNBC or Fox or whomever, whatever media outlet that you guys listen to, that are not necessarily telling you the whole story. Maybe there's a little bit of truth to what they're presenting to you, but a lot of it, in my opinion, most times is bullshit. So and where I'm going with this is that the COVID numbers, I'm not buying into it. And why I'm not buying into it, because if there's not one other human being on the face of the fucking earth that called up the Riverside County, we got 2.7 million people here in this county. Now, one other person was curious throughout the state. They called up and asked, I'm just kind of curious. I want to look over the death certificates just to confirm the numbers, right? Because journalists, Chuck, are supposed to be what? Curious, right?
They're supposed to be.
You're supposed to be curious. Apparently, that's gone out the window with a lot of the mainstream media, because you guys don't give a shit. You're not curious. It's only about agenda-driven topics. If you were curious, you would call up every effing county and you would go through all of them. And people could do this state to state. We'd probably get a true number. So the 250,000, and again, anyone that's passed away from COVID,
sorry,
we feel for you. I personally, I'm not going to talk for Chuck. I'm not going to buy into the number 250,000 is the accurate fucking count. And here's the thing. Prove us wrong. Everyone out there,
please do.
Prove us wrong. Send it to us. I'll eat my own words. I'll eat my shoe if you prove me wrong by a substantial amount. Okay? I'll eat my freaking shoe. No, there's not going to be dog shit on it. I know where your head's going there. Maybe not you, Chuck, but some of these whack jobs out there. How you got to eat a shoe with dog shit on it? No, I'm not. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to do that at all.
Oh man,
Chuck, what do you think about that? The journalists don't do their jobs anymore.
Well, I mean, they get lazy, and it's about numbers. Come on, Matt. You know this is about numbers. So, like, if they're gonna tease me going to the break, they gotta keep me engaged. Like, oh shit, what they gonna talk about coming back from break? Okay. So they're gonna tell me some bullshit so I can keep it on there, or I could turn back to there right before or after break. So I think they want you to panic, because if you panic, you're going to tune into the news and see what's going on. Like, even when I was, shut down here in March, April, and I had much business going on, I get up in the morning and I turn on the news. First thing I did, because I want to hear what's going on, especially in New York City. And, I have an uncle that lives in New York City. He lives in Harlem, and I called him up. I was like, "Uncle, you good, man?" He's like, "I haven't left. I haven't left my apartment, man." Because he's like, "I don't fucking know. What if I'm wrong?" This is way early on. You know what I'm saying? He's like, "What if I'm wrong? I ain't trying to die from this shit." He's been living in Harlem for 25 years. He's like, "So I'm a post up." Now he's roaming freely. He's like, "I just couldn't take that chance." I get it. He's close to 60 years old. You know what I'm saying? I get it. He's in good health, but he was like, "Oh shit, I don't know." So the news media wanted it, because during that time, that numbers through the roof. During the election time, numbers through the roof. During whatever, Katrina, we could talk about anything that's a national disaster or whatever, numbers are through the roof. But if it's boring and nothing's going on, nobody's watching the fucking news, man. Nobody's watching. Maybe you and I might, but come on, man. It's about numbers.
Always. And speaking of numbers, perfect segue here, Chuck. Look at these numbers.
Look at these numbers.
From the CDC, oh my goodness. And I know the numbers aren't blown up here, but you can see the COVID deaths. And this is from October 17th, so about a month ago, right? It says 207,882.
Now, this is national?
National, according to the CDC. National. Okay. Look at the pneumonia numbers. 213,000. Now, okay, based on my research, we got to take off about 15% of that, the 213,000, which, 180 or so thousand people that have died from pneumonia this year during this time frame, February 1st to October 17th. So 180,000 people. Now look at these numbers. Under the age of 1. Look at the COVID numbers, look at the pneumonia numbers, and take off 15% on the pneumonia numbers, okay? But just go down and look at it. What does it tell you? Especially with younger, with our pediatric, our kids under the age of 19.
It's very low when it comes to COVID.
And pneumonia, more people have died from pneumonia.
Absolutely.
Than COVID per the CDC for kids that are under the age of 19. Now, is anyone talking about that? No, they're not. Now look at the flu numbers.
Okay.
Influenza, 6,700. My buddy sent me an article before we went on here tonight from CNN, and CNN was reporting, not that's accurate, but the numbers that I've seen over the last so many years, 42,000 people on average, 80 in a high year, which has happened. 42,000 on average. We're looking at this 6,700. Do you think that should be higher, or are flu deaths being attributed to COVID? Are they saying that flu deaths are COVID deaths?
Yeah, they're saying this. Yeah, I listen. It is flu season to a T. And I guarantee, so like people that works down at the hospital, let's say Matt Sully works at the hospital, got a little head cold. They're freaking out. Go get COVID tested. It's like, hey man, my nose is running. Like, I'm okay. Go get COVID tested. You got to go get COVID tested. So they are sending you home. They're like, you got to wait till you get your COVID test to come back. Some places you can take, quick turnaround. Some places a couple of days. I mean, just the way it is. And you're off for a few days for no reason because they're freaking out about it. If you sneeze at the hospital with your mask on now, it's like you shot somebody, man. It's like you shot somebody. It's like, dude, I'm sorry. I can't help it. I had to sneeze. That's natural, brother. Like, I'm sorry.
So I talked to a nurse, a friend last evening, and I'm like, hey, how many COVID patients? She works for, to my knowledge, a larger hospital here in SoCal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how many COVID patients you guys have? And she's like, I think like 6.
Oh, wow.
6. And she's like, 2 have died, but she's like, they were elderly with some things going on. So imagine a population here in Southern California, which is more dense than most countries. Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
2 and 6 people.
But if you watch the news, they would say there's no beds left.
I know.
This is
so what's going on there? What's going on in a COVID ward in Tennessee at the hospitals that you're at?
So I can only speak of the hospitals I'm at, but like if you turn the news on, they're saying there's no beds left at the hospitals I'm at, and I can walk on the floor and I can ask the people in charge, and they say, "Oh, dude, we have over 100 beds left." But if I turn on the news, it's like downtown Nashville is like at code 85, like they have like they have a half a bed left. It's like that's not the case.
Can you get video of that, or is that gonna hurt you?
Video of somebody.
Like, can you literally get video of the COVID ward? And
no HIPAA violation. Can't do it.
All right.
Anything inside
Good
the hospital, I can't do it. So
okay. Well, gotta ask some questions there. Now check this out with the pediatrics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is MedRx IV. IV. Look at that. Hey, there's got a Yale. Look at this. The estimated IFR is close to 0 for children and younger adults, but rises exponentially with age, reaching 0.4 at the age of 55. And then it goes up 1.4. And it goes up from there. And those numbers there's some variations to that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, and we got to ask this question. It's a blunt question because you can't keep shutting down and the person who was the Democrat nominee, Joe Biden, said the first thing he's going to do is a 4 to 6 week shutdown.
Stupid.
Okay, first of all, based on what? Second of all, there's 2 companies, Moderna and Pfizer came out. Both of them said, and they've adjusted their numbers, 94, 95% effectiveness rate, right? And those things are going to be available here somewhat soon, not immediately. New York, Cuomo, the governor, said he doesn't want them because I can't trust President Trump. All right, well, that's your own deal. But the vaccines are available, and they're going to be available. And the effectiveness rate seems to be outstanding. So why the hell would we have another fucking shutdown? Our kids have been sitting here, okay, at the house doing virtual learning.
Nothing.
Has anyone thought about their development as a human being and what that means to the growth and the maturity to them as a person? Who the hell is talking about that?
You know
Did
why?
we all of a sudden forget about our kids? Oh, well, the kids are going to bring COVID to grandma. Well, grandma, I'm sorry to say, get the fuck out of the house.
Oh, man.
Find a different living situation. This is common fucking sense. Those of you that are saying, Matt, you're out of touch with reality. No, that's fucking reality. contingency plans. What the fuck do you do if your house, something happens to your house? You have a contingency plan. If you own a fucking business, what the fuck do you do? Well, I got to do this. I got to do that. Everyone seems to have a contingency plan, except for this pandemic. Yeah, I said pandemic, and we went over that last week or the week before about what this shit actually is. 4 years of fucking investigations to get the president out, and it comes with nothing. And then we have this election. Why do you guys believe this shit? You can't prove that it's 250,000 deaths. You can't prove it. If you can, do it. Again, I'll eat my shoe, not with dog shit on it. I'm not going to eat my shoe with dog shit.
Don't do that.
Or with human shit. Go F yourself. Oh, what if I put human shit on there?
Yeah, they would say that.
So here's what it comes down to. What's more important, the development of our kids or elderly? And my parents are in their 70s too, and I worry about that stuff too. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
You can't not worry about it. But how do you move forward without killing business? And what we've talked about, the whole plan is to kill business. They want people out of work. So they're reliant on government. Then government gives you subsidies. You're not going to bite the hand that feeds you. It's the law of reciprocity. I give you this, you give me that. And it worked in the 60s in the black community. The Democrat Party effed black Americans with their war on poverty. LBJ. Get the man out of the house, you get a subsidy. You got to get the man out of the house. At that point, 72% of black Americans were married. Now it's down to 27%. And Chuck, what's one of the biggest problems in the black community these days?
They ain't got no fathers in the home, man. They have no fathers in the home. You know, Matt, as you, a young Italian man like yourself.
Thank you.
If you walked in your house back in the day, and your teenage years, 13, 14, 15, because that's the time you're like, my shit don't stink. Fuck you. And you got your mama who's probably a sweet lady. And it's just different. Mama can tell you the same shit. But when dad tell you the same exact words, that's just different. That's just different. Because you got that word, like dad will look at you like, if you don't do this, I'm gonna fuck you up, and I'm really gonna do it.
Yeah, it's the fear.
Yeah, you're like, shit, I better go ahead and do this because dad's gonna lay some hands on me. It ain't gonna feel good. Yeah, it's a fear, man. It's a healthy fear. And I'm like, when you got dudes, these young kids running reckless, and I'm like, what the fuck is their dad? Again, so quick story.
Yes, please.
I coached youth football out here for years, and I'm watching the news one day, not that long ago, and they talking about multiple carjackings and robberies out here in Nashville. And they said they've caught the young suspects. We've caught 3 young adults, teenage young adults that was doing a lot of carjacking, and we caught them here in this side of town. I'm like, all right, cool. And they flash the names and the pictures of the 3 kids, and 2 of the 3 kids I coached. I said, what the fuck?
Really?
Yes. I said, whoa, time out. What is this? And I immediately got on my phone and texted my coaching staff, and they, a couple of them heard about it. And it come down to going back to these two, I knew 2 to 3 kids. One of them had a dad in their house and one of them didn't. Now the one that had a dad in the house did the worst shit because the dad's in left field. The dad don't give a fuck. He's there, but he ain't there, Matt.
Okay.
And then these kids, if you know these kids, they're not thugs. They grew up in a suburb of Nashville and they think they're thugs. They're not thugs. And they're 18 years old. And I said, okay, so you out carjacking people. And now you're in a Delta County jail waiting for trial. You're 18 years old from the suburbs of Nashville thinking you're tough shit. And you never was. And you're in a Delta County jail. So, going down a baby book as juvenile is one thing. But when you've turned 18, and you wanted to flick a gun in somebody's face, you're going down to grown men that's looking at you like, oh shit, I'm gonna be in here for life. What's up, baby? And I'm like, wait a minute. If I ever did some dumb shit like that, and the father figure in my house, my uncle, and other guys in the neighborhood, they'd have beat my ass. They'd have beat my ass. We ain't doing shit like that. And I think that's the lack of the man inside the house. Because if you fucked up in school, Matt, and you had to come home that day, and the school's gonna call home and say Matt was acting like a little shit, and dad just came home from a long day at work and he tired as fuck.
I know. I'm gonna tell your father. I'm gonna tell you.
Please don't tell my dad.
I'm telling your father. No. But there are some moms that, I mean, hell,
absolutely,
they handle their shit. And they beat the hell out of their kids. Which some, no, I'm not gonna say that.
But I ain't saying it didn't work, but it's a little different coming from dad. It's a little different because he throwing the people's elbow, he drop kicking you, man. He don't give a shit. He doing all that.
People are talking about online I spray them with anti-COVID spray. Ryan,
that anti-COVID,
anti-COVID, you're best. Jason's I wear a mask and I go in the shower.
Put that shower cap on. Come on, Jason.
Miss Esmeralda Stout, saw you join the podcast. Thank you very much for being on here. And before we move on, I need to point this out because I do need to say this crystal clear because the Dems try and reverse it back. Chuck, who's the party of the KKK?
Let me think about this. Democrat.
Yeah. Who's the party of slavery?
Always been doing it. That is not a secret. It's Democrat. Not a secret.
Who's the party of Lincoln?
It was a Democratic Party. That's right.
No, Republican.
That's right. That's right. My bad. That's right. You're right. My bad. Party
of Lincoln.
My bad.
And so where I'm going with this is that before the Great Society and the War on Poverty, majority of Black Americans were Republican because it was the party of Lincoln.
Absolutely, they were.
And you actually, in fact, read off quotes of LBJ in episode 1 or 2,
right, saying
we're going to keep these blanks voting for us for the next 200 years.
Absolutely.
You're frozen, by the way.
Oh, I am. I see myself. I'm good.
Fix it.
I'm good.
So that's a deal. That's a deal with that. So in case you didn't know, and Dems try and reverse that, put it on Republicans. And by the way, I'm not the biggest fan of Republican politicians. The people, majority are good people. You ever been out to a Trump rally? Good people. And by the way, the hate is not on the right. It's on the left. You know why? Because you're fucking communists. Not all of you. Some of you don't even know that you're fucking communists. You don't even fucking know, but that's what you voted for. You may not be a communist, but that's what you voted for. Okay, that's what you voted for. And those that fake voted as well. And that's kind of where we're going to go
like
here
the dead
next.
people? The dead people who voted?
Oh, yeah, the 14,000 dead people that voted in Nevada. What do you think about that, Chuck?
Hey, did they vote count?
Did it count?
Yeah, did it count? It
did count.
Oh, well, that's a shame. That's a shame.
So we talk about investigations, okay? These people with investigations. So did Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and the rest of the Democrats and Obama and everyone else, Joe Biden, Trump needs to be investigated on Russia collusion. And we talked about this too. Who made up Russia collusion? Oh, yeah, Hillary Clinton.
I thought it was real. What happened?
But here's the video of Chuck and Nancy talking about investigating, because this is the integrity of our election. The integrity. And we're going to get to some people's shit at the end of this. They're about doxing people and these hateful people in Michigan. Canvassers. Sons of bitches. But listen to Chuck and Nancy first.
That's a serious issue needs a thorough investigation by the Attorney General.
This week, we saw cold, hard evidence of the Trump campaign, indeed the Trump family, eagerly intending to collude possibly with Russia, a hostile foreign power, to influence American elections. After these latest revelations, it's becoming clear we have suffered a desecration of our democracy not seen since Watergate. Outside independent commission. It's not just about what happened in the past, it's to prevent it from happening again.
And there's that. Hey, does your horse have COVID? I don't know. You're riding a horse and you don't know if it has COVID? Huh. Maybe you have COVID. Huh. I live in a bubble because I'm afraid of COVID. Jeez.
Good job. Good job, Matt.
So dumb. Oh, man. It puts a smile on my face. I don't know who put that together, but it's pretty awesome.
Good job.
So, Chuck and Nancy, we have to investigate. We have to investigate the due process of the investigation, which you guys had your investigations, and now you're saying we just need to give up and we need to unite. Well, it looked like on the weekend in D.C., and we talked about Antifa because there was a maybe it wasn't so much it was a Trump rally. Hundreds of thousands of people showed up. And then Antifa, when it became dark, and I didn't get that video. I'm sure you've seen some of it, where the Antifa people creating violence or causing violence, throwing fireworks in the crowd. It's insane. So what I want to tell you numbnuts out there, we sat through your fucking bullshit for 4 effing years. None of it was true. It was all fabricated. So you can sit back, and this is a presidential election, and let the courts do their thing. By the way, Chuck, I need to ask this question as well. Have there been any riots since the media declared Joe Biden the winner? Have there been any riots from the 73 million Trump supporters out there? Anything? Riots, looting, anything? Has there been anything like that?
So what's your definition of rioting? Like, people can verbally riot it too, right? I mean, you know.
Property damage, effing up
their
political opponents on the street, people that don't agree with them. Has there been any of that?
No. Not that I heard of.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You know why, Chuck? Because we're not communists. And I know there's the Dems out there. And by the way, it'd probably be a Kennedy Democrat. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
For the country. That's right.
Right? Do I still have that video loaded in here?
Yeah,
I still have that. I don't. Damn it, sons of bitches. I do not. But that's the Kennedy Democrat Party. Oh, well, Kennedy was this. No, okay, whatever. He was a Democrat. Are you a Democrat? These people flip-flop all the time. I'm a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat. Whatever. Chuck, you're frozen again.
I'm not frozen. I'm good.
You're like yogurt, always frozen. Yogurt from Spaceballs, right?
Oh, I ain't see that in a long time.
Ding, 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 ding. So Nancy and Chuck are talking about investigations, right? That's all they want, investigations. Well, there's some other people doing investigations on the voting systems that are running rampant throughout the country that happen to be in all the swing states and whatever else, Dominion voting systems.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a gentleman out here, Russ. Why am I not remembering his name? Oh, yeah, Lambsland.
That's an interesting name.
Russ Lambsland. So his company, which investigates this, Allied Operations Group, he's got some things to say about this. Watch this and watch him go over what happened in 2018 with votes being switched in a gubernatorial. Notice I didn't say gubernatorial. It's gubernatorial. You fucking damn goober.
Russ, I want to cut quickly to a video that you've made for us that shows a CNN clip On election night 2018, you'll explain it in the course of the film, but we'll talk more about it on the other side. Let's roll the tape.
So what you're looking at, Frank, is election night coverage from CNN when Matt Bevin was surprisingly defeated by Andy Beshear. Now, Bevin was a Republican. He lost by 5,000 votes. Andy Beshear was the challenger. It was surprising because every other Republican won by 200 to 300,000 votes. So let's watch this little bit of election night coverage. What you see up in the gold is the actual feed, the live database of the votes. And you notice they just changed, and then these guys start talking. Let me show you what you missed. When you go back through this in slide by slide, you'll see Andy Beshear has 673 from the database in gold. Look down below, CNN shows it's 673. And the same with Bevin. Bevin has 662 up above and 662 down below. Now here comes the live update. You see it coming in the gold. Now Beshear has 674 down below. He still has 673 because CNN hadn't had a chance to update. Matt Bevin has 661, but a minute ago he had 662. So what you've seen in real time in front of your very eyes is Andy Beshear getting 560 votes. At the exact same instant, Matt Bevin loses 560 votes. You've just seen 20% of the margin of victory switched before your very eyes.
So, Chuck, have you seen that before?
I have not.
What do you think?
Interesting.
So did you see that the exact amount that was taken away from the Republican went to the Democrat? And that was in real time. So that was not fabricated like the Pornhub thing that was on that was on election night. Did you see that on CNN?
Oh, yeah.
It looked like what's his name? Uncle Cracker swiped it away with the white hair. I forget. He's just a nerd looking dude. He swiped it away.
Yeah.
And they said that was fake news. Whatever. I don't care. It was funny. You're frozen again, Chuck.
I'm not frozen, bro. I'm good.
I see Frozen. By the way, do you like that movie?
I have a little girl, so yes, I do.
I don't like the first one. The second one was better.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah. Second one was way better. Okay, look at this. That's why they have these voting systems in place and how it's been described. And now we're going to get into General McInerney. General McInerney has been on this for a long time. He's on with Steve Bannon, and this is November 2nd, which is one day before the election. He's on with Steve Bannon talking, oh, Steve Bannon's evil. He's a racist. He's this, he's that. You know what Steve Bannon does? He provides good information. And if you actually listened or watched what the guy does, it's really good information. So see what General McInerney says on November 2nd, 2020, the day before the election, about the voting systems.
Okay.
Yes, I will, Steve. The fact is that Hammer is what we call a SIGINT, a signals intelligence program that the NSA came up with years ago. The CIA picked it up under the Obama administration, and I broke it in March of 2017 about what they were doing on the Russian hoax. But the fact is, the Obama administration took this system and they put in an application in this SIGINT program called Scorecard. And Scorecard changes votes at a certain point in the voting stream. And if I can, and by the way, the Obama administration used it in the 2012 election in Florida. And so both Obama and Biden are very familiar with this. Now, I've got to make a quote here.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's important that we all understand it. It's by Joseph Stalin. I consider it completely unimportant who in the party will vote or how. But what is extraordinarily important is this: who will count the votes? Now, Steve, we have a desperate Democratic Party that will do anything to bring the country to a totalitarian state and as far left as they want.
Man.
So he was working on that 2017. He's familiar with it before that, but Dominion, Smartmatic, and by the way, Joe Biden, what's this guy's name here? What's his name? Where do I have this? I'm going to find that dude's name is on a transition team who worked for Smartmatic.
Okay.
Look, you saw in real time votes being changed. Chuck, have you seen that?
Like that before? Oh yeah. It's like this: 1 for you, 1 for me, 2 for you, 1, 2 for me, 3 for you, 1, 2, 3 for me. If you don't catch me, it is what it is.
So the retired general is describing exactly what this is. So it's Dominion voting system. So I guess Dominion is like an iPhone, and he was talking about it. Smartmatic is like an application. And these are in 29, if I'm not mistaken, states and in all the swing states that we're referring to. And of course, we saw in Michigan, 6,000 votes went to Biden, and they had to reverse that. There's just a lot of stuff going on, and Trump team's getting after it, and everyone wants us to move forward. What about the investigations, Nancy and Chuck and everyone else? We need to unify. How? Okay, I need to say this too. You're trying to tell us to unify when a lot of you people out there have been mother effing Trump supporters for how long? We're stupid, we're idiots, we're uneducated. Fuck you. Fuck you. Now you can sit back and wait for this shit to come out, because shit's going to be coming out.
Shit's going to be real.
Of your ass. All over your face. How that works, I don't know. Have one of your people paint a picture, and then you can put it on your wall and say it's fucking art. Chuck, what do you think about that?
Hey, I'm with you, brother. They just listen. Come on, man. You said it. You said it in the most sweet words. Fuck you. Stop changing the shit. Let these folks vote correctly and honestly. And let's move on.
Hey, hypocrites.
Very much.
For 4 effing years, we had to sit through your stupid shit. Russia, Russia, Russia. Ukraine, Ukraine, Ukraine. Stormy Daniels. So what? So the president in 2006, after he was married, banged a porn star. Oh, it's campaign finance law that he broke. Okay. Did you prove anything? No. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I only play one on TV, and I say it at the Holiday Inn. So go F yourself.
I'd have got up and walked out.
You already did?
I said I would have got up and walked out.
When?
If somebody was talking to me like that, I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here, and just walked away.
Oh, we got some shit I'm going to show you.
Okay, show me some shit then, dog.
Okay, before we get to that, because these are people in Michigan, the canvassers.
Oh.
You're talking Dems. You talk about you have moral high ground. You don't. And we're going to prove it to you. But stay tuned for that. Before we do this, I already mentioned Rudy Giuliani and what he's done and what he did for the city of New York during very trying times. But to get the city out of some shit. So Rudy, still a practicing attorney.
Absolutely.
Here's what he had to say about Dominion.
Get him, Rudy.
And the voting system and stuff going overseas. Here it is right now.
Get him, Rudy.
Doesn't really count the votes. Dominion has a contract with a company called Smartmatic. And Smartmatic has locations in Frankfurt, Germany, and in Barcelona, Spain. So when the votes are being calculated, they are sent to, most of them in this particular election, Frankfurt, I believe, but there may have been some sent to Barcelona, Spain. Those votes are also in machines, devices that are extremely vulnerable to hacking and extremely vulnerable to manipulation, whose origins go back to somewhere around 2004, 2005. It was founded by 2 Venezuelans, and 2 Venezuelans that were very close to the dictator in Venezuela, Chavez. And it was founded for the specific purpose of being able to fix elections. If you want to check that out, go online and look at the Sequoia case in Chicago. We'll explain it in a little while. And look at the testimony testimony and the letter from Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney, who happens to be my representative in Congress, where I live in New York, and her concerns about Smartmatic going back to 2007, 2008, as a Venezuelan company that had a very, very terrible reputation for fixing elections.
Not good.
Okay, Chuck and Nancy. So, investigation. Oh, but Rooney's Rooney, Ed Wood Rooney. I want my daughter outside in 15 minutes. Do you read me, Rooney? Sorry, I had to bring up Ferris Bueller. But Chuck, what are your thoughts on listening to Rudy Giuliani about Dominion, Smartmatic, and our votes going overseas?
I think he's on to something. He's a smart guy. And, talking about the election in the past, past episodes, go ahead and watch it if you need to pick that up. That if it's smoke is fire, man. There's something's going on with it. That's all we say. Smoke is fire. So, man, this is an interesting one, Matt, because we're in the middle of a pandemic. It was interesting. We're in the middle of a pandemic. And so that was time, if they wanted to do any cheating, let everybody focus over here in the pandemic and we can go fly under the radar and try to do something.
So whatever they do, they put it on you. So,
yeah.
Hillary Clinton in 2015 wanted to know what her biggest pitfall was. And they did a study on this for her because obviously she was running for president. Mm-hmm. And what her campaign came up with is that Russia, because she gave away 20% of the U.S.'s uranium, right? So that was the biggest thing for her. So what did she do to reverse it? She put everything on Trump. Putin, you're a lapdog of Putin. Putin. Russia. Everything they do, they try and reverse it back on the opposition. And it's insane because if you're a winner, and a lot of people have talked about this. And by the way, to all the conservative leaders out there that are making a difference, Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, Candace Owens, Tommy Lahren. Then you got your Mark Levin's out there. Your Hannity's and Fox has gone to shit. There's a whole theory on what it's a business model move to go to the middle, left of center, maybe right of center. So those of you that have not been watching Fox, good for you. Screw them. They did the whole Arizona debacle. Yep. And that was all BS, and that's probably going to be turned, just like Nevada's probably going to be turned. Yep. Georgia, Michigan, don't need all of them. Don't need all of them, but just a few. So you saw Rudy talking about this. Now look at the great one, who was General Flynn's attorney. Now she's a Trump attorney.
Oh,
who's a badass, Sidney Powell. See what she said on Lou Dobbs the other night. More's developed since then. I really like this. So check this out. Then we got one last soundbite for you, but listen to Sidney Powell.
Let's hear it.
Well, for fraud this serious, I think even if the states are stupid enough to go ahead and certify the votes where we know the machines were operating and producing altered election results, if they're stupid to do that, then they will be set aside by the fraud. So, we are talking about hundreds of thousands of votes. President Trump won this election in a landslide. It's going to be irrefutable, and patriots are coming forward every day, all day, faster than we can collect their information with the testimony they're willing to give under oath about how their votes were stolen and how the machines operated. They were updated the night of the election, sometimes after the election. We've got statistical evidence that shows hundreds of thousands of votes being just put in and replicated. It's going to be there needs to be a massive criminal investigation, and it's going to affect millions of voters and elections. It is indeed a very foul mess. It is farther and wider and deeper than we ever thought, but we are going to go after it, and I am going to expose every one of them.
You want to mess with her? I didn't even put on the release the Kraken.
Wow, interesting.
Release the Kraken, what she's talking about, which means she's going to have some people up. They have, and by the way, people, so you know, they have the evidence. Okay, they have the evidence, and the shit is going to come out. Now the question is whether or not it's going to make a difference.
I mean, it might not.
Well, based on the forces that, and it's not just America that they're dealing with, and we've talked about this. This is a globalist agenda, one totalitarian government, and controllable people.
All the way true, brother. All the way true.
By the way, who started Planned Parenthood? What was the point of Planned Parenthood? That was just on my mind. What was the point of that, Chuck?
Shit, we talked about this, man.
What's the point of it? Was it to kill black babies? Margaret Sanger, was that your deal? You were into eugenics?
Yeah.
Eugenics. You only you want to get rid of the undesirables, if you will. So we got to get rid of all the black babies.
That's a shame.
That's whom Democrats support, and we need to keep funding. And the same practice is going on today. And do you guys ever ask yourself this question? Why is there partial term abortion? That's a baby.
I never thought about it like that.
Where's that fetus? Where's that body going? What do people do with that?
You know why?
Have you asked that question? Has anyone asked that? What are people doing with a freaking baby? What are they doing with it?
I don't know.
Think about it. Look it up. Do some freaking research on that one.
Please.
Mind blown.
Good one, Matt.
That's
good one.
Maybe we'll get into some of that stuff.
Good one, Matt.
Okay. One last thing here, Chuck. So Wayne County in Michigan, they were canvassing votes, right? Yeah, encompasses Detroit, right? And there's a few Republicans on there that were saying, no, we're not going to certify the county.
Okay.
And for obvious reasons, did we not prove our point? Did we not do that? At least there needs to be an investigation, right? Chuck, did we prove our point or no?
I think we did.
Okay, listen to what these stu nods are saying to these people that are not agreeing with them and what they might do to them in their lives.
And what that tells us is you, Miss Monica Palmer from Grosse Pointe Woods, which is a history of racism, are deciding to enable and continue to perpetuate the racist history of this country. And I want you to think about what that means. We'll probably go to Grosse Pointe North, and when they see all their black classmates and they know that—
Just know when you try to sleep tonight that millions of people around the world now on Twitter know the name Monica Palmer and William Hartman as two people completely racist and without an understanding of what integrity means or a shred of human decency. The law isn't on your side, history won't be on your side, your conscience will not be on your side, and Lord knows, when you go to meet your maker, your soul is going to be very, very warm.
That's good stuff right there.
These people actually said that. Look at her talking points. They're racist. If you call someone a racist, you have no substance to your argument.
You better back that shit up.
Nothing.
Yep.
You have nothing. And if you won, okay, and you're confident about winning, because usually when you win, you know that you won.
Yeah.
So Chuck, if we played a game of basketball and I whooped your ass,
You probably will. You probably will.
Yeah, I don't know
You
about
probably will.
basketball. Let's pick a different sport, but whatever. Just an example. Would I not be knowing that I won? I would know that I won, right?
Oh,
And would I
absolutely
be
you will.
acting? Would I be threatening your family and doxing your kids potentially?
No. That'd be just fine, man.
Why do you suppose that those Yagovs did what they did? What are they in fear of?
Everything.
Do they need a bubble?
Well, according to them, they probably be the one that take up a bubble.
Here, hold this. Watch this. Hey, does your horse have COVID? I don't know. You're riding a horse and you don't know if it has COVID? Huh. Maybe you have COVID. Ah. I live in a bubble because I'm afraid of COVID. Jeez.
That's a shame. That is a shame. That is a shame, Matt. That's a shame.
That makes whoever put that together, I don't know.
Great,
Makes me
great
laugh.
stuff. Yeah, great stuff. That's a shame.
Whoever did that. So, okay. I'm going to ask you this question. Imagine if someone, because those sons of bitches were talking to at least one woman.
Okay.
Imagine if that woman was your wife.
Oh, I'll slap the shit out of him. I'll slap the shit out of him because, again, I always say, listen, man, you can talk bad about me, want my belief. When you start talking about my family, I got a problem. So talk about me, dog. I'm cool with it. We can have a different opinion. I'm cool with it. But two things you ain't gonna do: you ain't gonna put your hands on me, and you're gonna talk to you about my family. So
if you're a winner, do you respond like that?
That's the great question because it depends.
And you're confident about your victory.
Yeah. That's a great question.
To me, cheaters do that.
I mean,
thoughts, emotion, feedback.
I can't argue against it, man. They're trying to cause all the commotion to keep your focus, my focus on everything else instead of what's going on. So they did a good job of that.
So here's the thing, and I wasn't going to play this, but I'm going to have to, because this is a show about exposing the ideology of the communists and those people. And to look at that Ned Flanders motherfucker who was at the end there.
Okay.
Stabler.
Yep.
You're going to meet your maker.
Oh my God.
Insanity. So if you won, you would sell it a different way. You would just sell it a different way. It's like, look, okay, if I'm Ned Flanders, that guy in there who's trying to, and he did threaten those individuals. If I'm Ned Flanders, I'd be like, look, we did what we were supposed to do. And it was a fair election. And you guys know this. You know this. That it was fair. Deep in your heart, you know, and all the procedures, the protocols were met. There was no nefarious action that was taken whatsoever. And you guys know this. You know this. And as residents of this county and people of Michigan and the United States, all you need to focus on is we did the right thing and we had an election of integrity. That's it. That's all you got to say.
Yep.
That's all you got to say. That's it, and that's that. So that would have been but these people, I want to play this again in case some of you are just joining us. And I know, Chuck, you got to get running. We got to wrap this thing up. Only a couple of more minutes here. But I want to play this again. No, go ahead. What do you guys say?
No. I said these people. Go ahead. You good.
And what that tells us is you, Miss Monica Palmer from Grosse Pointe Woods, which has a history of racism, are deciding to enable and continue to perpetuate the racist history of this country. And I want you to think about what that means for your kids who probably go to Grosse Pointe North. And when they see all their black classmates and they know that.
Just know when you try to sleep tonight that millions of people around the world now on Twitter know the name Monica Palmer and William Hartman as two people completely racist and without an understanding of what integrity means or a shred of human decency. The law isn't on your side, history won't be on your side, your conscience will not be on your side, and Lord knows, when you go to meet your maker, your soul is going to be very, very warm.
Hey, Chuck, do you have a warm soul?
Do I have a warm soul?
In front of Satan. So are you going to have a warm soul in front of Satan?
Hey,
is what he's saying?
Hey, Lucifer and I, we cool peoples, man. Like we get along. So I don't know what y'all talking about, man. We cool.
It makes you wonder who is Satan and who is not.
Ooh,
hey, Chuck, we didn't get a chance to go over this yet or even talk about it. But what happened in a barbershop this week? I'm sure there was a lot of conversation worth divulging.
No, it was. You know what? It's week to week. Sometimes it's a bunch of us. Sometimes it's not. This week it really wasn't a bunch of us, so it wasn't a whole lot of topic. But one of the main guys had COVID. He got COVID. He got it from one of his daughters, who's a teenager. So he's been out the last couple of weeks. He is now back. He said he called me today. He said, I'm back and I got some shit to talk about. I said, oh, okay, I'll be there. I'll be there, dog. Let's hear this.
Sunday? Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday morning at about 7:30 a.m. here in Nashville. I'll probably leave about 9:30, 10 o'clock in Nashville. I'll show up about 7:30, leave about 10 o'clock because the conversation is great. Sheriff and police officers show up, coaches, and high school sports principals, all types of people, man, that they have an interesting view on life. That we just talk and we talk some shit.
Hey, would they be interested in talking about some of this stuff on camera?
I think a few of them will.
Can you get some interviews?
I can talk. Let me talk to them about it, man. Sure. You want interviews? I got interviews, dog. Let's go.
Dude, I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's make that happen.
Yeah, and hey, that Trump thing in the back will be so man, that'll be perfect. Oh, that'd be perfect. Ooh, roll them up, baby. Roll them up.
I love it, dude.
Off the bat.
So that's gonna be a big part of next week's episode. So we're either gonna go Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday. We got to figure it. Or so Tuesday.
It has to be Tuesday. Wednesday, full day for me from work, whenever that is, going straight to the airport, flying out to go see the fam. So it has to be Tuesday. It has to be Tuesday. I cannot do Wednesday.
So last thing to wrap this up, Libtard of the week. I didn't have enough
time,
time,
baby. Libtard.
I didn't have enough time to put together some images and or video, but I'm sure most of you who are watching this have seen this. So Gavin Newsom, who was just at a restaurant with like 12 to 15 people last weekend without wearing a mask.
Okay.
And now you're coming out and telling us that we can't have Thanksgiving. And I saw your apology, douchebag. Okay. It was shit. I need to own that. I shouldn't be doing that. And I need to practice what I'm preaching. The only thing faker than you is Frosted Flakes.
Ooh.
Like that, I just came up with that shit. I didn't even write that down.
I like Frosted Flakes too. I like it.
I like Frosted. You know what? That's an insult to Frosted Flakes and Tony the Tiger.
Yes.
Governor Newsom. You know what? You can't. You need to rethink what. So this is the whole thing, Dems. The people, if you don't see this, wake the fuck up.
Open your
people
eyes.
In power are always going to be able to do whatever the hell they want. And they're going to tell us to do things that they're not going to do. You know why? So we can be controlled. We can be the citizens. We can be the citizens. Oh, you guys need to do this. It's for your safety. And by the way, if anyone says it's for your safety, tell them to go shit in their hat.
And put it on. I love it.
Because they're probably a libtard. It's for your safety. Okay. You give me the information, and then I'll be the judge of that.
True.
Okay?
True.
Show me the statistics, not talking points, and I'll be the judge of that.
True that.
Humans are smart people. You need to rely on them making their own decisions. And so all of you at the top who think you know better because you think you're educated and smarter than the rest of us, you don't know what you're doing. The California thing, 70-30, 65-35, that's effing bullshit. When you do the eye test, it doesn't look like that. So some shit's going on here. And there's a number of organizations that are looking into it. And we're probably going to get to the bottom of it.
I hope so.
The state used to be red. And should every state always be red or blue, Chuck?
No, absolutely not.
That's the benefit of this. We go too far right, we need the left to bring us back. We go too far left, we need the right to bring us back.
Absolutely.
If we go too far one way, that's the problem. And a lot of you mother effers out there want to go too far this way. The Bernie Sanders. And by the way, Bernie Sanders.
Oh, Bernie.
Chuck,
Bernie.
Honeymoons in the Soviet fucking Union.
Bernie does. Bernie.
1980. Then Bernie comes back. I need to tell you about all the social programs that they have in the Soviet Union.
Bernie does. Yeah.
Sign of government. No, it's not. It's a good sign. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Bread lines? What are you talking about, idiot? Bread lines. Chuck. Bread lines.
Bread lines.
Shit, I'm gonna have to put that video on because
please do.
Bernie Sanders and bread lines.
Please do.
Go to DuckDuckGo.
Bernie's 93 years old, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, what should he be doing every day?
Taking his Mucinex and playing bingo
and starting his engines.
Ooh, that's true.
Ladies and gentlemen, starts your engines.
That is true.
AOC comes over. Motorboat time.
That is true.
It's like totally cool, Bernie.
Yeah.
So do you think AOC motorboats Bernie?
If they make some money off of it, they would.
AOC.
Oh, good.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to wrap this up here. We've gone a little while. Everyone for Philadelphia 19. For at West Coast Sicilian.
West Coast.
That's Chuck. I'm Matt. We will see you next time on the Always Offended podcast. We are out of here. Woo! Please subscribe, by the way.
Let's go. Let's go.
Please comment whatever you got. Yell at us. Tell us we're stupid. Tell us we're the smartest people in the world. You may or may not. Whatever. Tell us. Let us know. We appreciate it either way. We will see you next time on the Always Offended podcast.
We out.